What's going on, everybody? This is GoofyRhexxi. I hope you guys are all doing well today. So in today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about how to prepare for legendaries and how to prepare more so for future legendaries. So I know that this is probably going to be an easier topic or something easier to do as probably a mid to later game player, but I do still want to talk to the beginner players too as well about this, because as you progress through the game, you're gonna want to make sure that you're also kind of pay attention to cadences that, you know, Scopely, that Marvel Strike Force goes through whenever they're introducing new legendaries into Marvel Strike Force. So of course, we already know that Jubilee is going to be a new legendary that is going to be coming into Marvel Strike Force, you know, slated for early 2021. So that could be January, that could be February, that could be March. You know, those are still all early 2021. You know, but we're assuming, of course, it's going to be January 2021 after they release all of these new characters, these 6 new playable characters as a part of this existing patch that we're going through right now. So the idea here is to make sure that you're preparing for legendaries and that you're preparing for future legendaries. And I'm going to talk about the way that I go through it, because as a light spender, you know, and previously before free-to-play player, you know, I understand that getting new legendaries for me is not going to be a first pass thing that I'm going to be able to do as new legendaries come into the game. So first and foremost, right, legendaries are extremely important. Legendaries are pretty much the backbone to your success, you know, as you progress through Marvel Strike Force. You're going to see it in your arena shard as you continue to progress. You know, Ebony Maw, Phoenix, you know, Black Bolt. I see them constantly currently right now in my arena shard. Earlier, as I was playing the game, and of course, even on my baby account, I see a lot of Magnetos and Invisible Womens and Shuris in my arena shard, which can be quite difficult, right? But as you can see, legendaries are extremely important, regardless of whether or not you think that they're as good, you know, as they are or not, right? You know, there definitely are some legendaries that have definitely fallen from grace a little bit, right? Like a Star-Lord, you know, but still very useful character, still very useful kit, you know, because still a lot of people do use Star-Lord with Minerva, you know, in Dark Dimension 2. So still very much important legendary kit, you know. And Iron Man, not as great anymore, but still used with the Power Armor team, you know, as a war offense team. Still a very good, you know, war offense team that you could use as well to do some punch-ups in your as a part of your war team. Nick Fury, not like I said, not great anymore, but still usable. A lot of people are actually using him right now along with Black Bolt as a part of a war defense team that actually is going to be able to get you a lot of wins. But the point is, legendaries are extremely important. Legendary kits are going to be extremely important when it comes to Marvel Strike Force. You know, as we saw before with Doctor Octopus is our newest legendary that just came into Marvel Strike Force. And a lot of people weren't very sure in regards to how he was going to fit into the game, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. You know, yeah, kit looks great. What about stats? Things like that. Like, how exactly is he going to perform? But as we've seen now, a lot of people are using Doctor Octopus along with that symbiote team to now beat Black Order teams in Arena, right? So the point is, legendaries are extremely important. They're going to help you to progress to this game. They're going to be the reason why you progress to this game in Arena, in War, in Raids. Every aspect of this game they're going to definitely absolutely help you to do that. So you want to put a plan in place from the very beginning to make sure that you're attacking and going after legendaries. So for existing legendaries, yes, make sure that you're farming them from day one as a beginner player, right? I think the cadence before was Star-Lord, Shuri, Invisible Woman. A lot of people now are recommending going after Shuri, Invisible Woman, because the Sinister Six team is a team that you can use to unlock both of those legendaries in Shuri and Invisible Woman. So one team to unlock 2 legendaries absolutely is phenomenal for you to be able to do. So target farming them first in the very beginning part of the game to make sure that you're unlocking those 2 legendaries who are going to bring a lot of value to your roster. Then if depending on how you play the game, light spender or, you know, light spender and free to play player, you're probably going to want to target Magneto next, you know, because that's going to be the easiest path or easiest character for you to get to. If you're not a light spender or free to play player and you're willing to spend money in the game, then of course I would say going after the Asgardian team, you know, to be able to unlock Black Bolt. And of course, Black Bolt is also going to open up the door as well for you to be able to unlock Ebony Maw. But my point here is, not just for existing legendaries, but how do you go after making sure that you're getting, future legendaries, new legendaries that come into the game, like Jubilee that's coming around the corner. So for my example for this here, I want to talk about what I did when it came to getting Doctor Octopus. So Doctor Octopus, or who I'm going to be getting in a couple of weeks, if that's, or month, whenever he is announced and whenever he's going to be released. So the way I went about doing this for getting Doctor Octopus is that first, I started to understand the cadence of Marvel Strike Force, right? So for Marvel Strike Force, typically, whenever there's a new legendary that comes into the game, there is a team that the cadence that they follow is that there's normally 2 existing characters, as we saw with the X-Force team, Deadpool, Cable already in the game, right? And then they added 3 new characters in Domino, Negasonic, and X-23, who are all really good characters as well, added to that team to then now be able to unlock, Doctor Octopus. So we could kind of see that might be where they're going with the unlock for Jubilee. We don't know yet. It's not confirmed, but we're assuming that for the Pimtech team, there was already Ant-Man, there was already Wasp in the game. There's a possibility that with the additions of Ghost, Stature, and Yellow Jacket, that most likely that team is going to be the team that's going to be used to unlock, Jubilee. But we don't know yet, right? Could be the Skill Military team, who knows? But just realizing their cadence and how they go about, doing these things here in Marvel Strike Force. We saw it with Black Bolt too as well. The Asgardian team, there was Loki, there was already Thor. They added, Sif, Hela, and they also added Heimdall. So just kind of giving you sort of an idea here of how they go about their cadence. But how do you go about making sure that you are unlocking these new legendaries and that you're not shelving them? Because like I said, these new legendaries are still going to be important, like how Doctor Octopus is very important now with the Sinister 16 for war defense or for war offense, but also even, going further than that too as well, being able to use him and the symbiotes to beat Black Order teams in your arena. So the way that I go about doing this is, yes, that they're going to make them available to farm somehow, right? That there's going to be some way, somehow, that they're going to make those new characters farmable. Now, you're not going to be able to get them on first pass if you're a light spender or a cheap to play player. Light spender or free to play player, you're not going to be able to get them on first pass. But what you will be able to do is that you most likely will be able to get them on second pass. So for instance, for me, I was not able to unlock Doctor Octopus. I still made sure that I opened up my red stars for him though, which is I'm gonna have him at 5 red stars when I do unlock him, which is gonna be very good for me, right? Obviously. So make sure that you still open up your red stars, to be able to get those high red stars on whenever he's featured in that orb, whenever a new legendary is featured in that orb. Make sure that you're using your red stars to unlock, to open up your red stars to make sure that you are gonna be getting good red stars for that character. But with my X-Force team, I did not have, Negasonic. They made available in the Doom Chapter 2-9 campaign. Domino, they exclusively, put her in the Blitz orbs, and then X-23, they added her to the War Store orbs. Now, I already had Deadpool already, and I already had Cable. I did farm them a little bit more to get them at least to 6 stars. Deadpool is at 7 stars right now, and I'm being very cheap with my resources by not actually leveling up to 7 stars, but I will at some point. But my goal was that I was trying to make sure that I went after getting, getting these characters, not just to get an unlock of Doctor Octopus at 5 stars, but to try to get an unlock for Doctor Octopus at 6 stars. So the goal here is, as soon as they make those players farmable, that you want to make sure that you're kind of bearing down on getting these new characters, right? So farming Negasonic, really, intently farming Negasonic, or trying to get to her node so that you can get to farm her on a consistent basis. For a long period of time, all I did, and I'm still doing it now, is all I did was make sure that instead of target farming any other character in the Blitz store, I immediately started target farming, Domino by opening up those Blitz orbs, right? Target farming Domino to open up those Blitz orbs. I would also farm Cable too as well, by trying to farm him in a particular node. I already was pretty high with him, so, I didn't really need to go too crazy, and then X-23, I exclusively made sure that I was targeting her in the War Store. Unfortunately, though, the War Store is a very difficult store to farm characters because it's very RNG based, but also as well, if you're not in a higher war, sort of level, it's going to be hard for you to accumulate as many points as you need to farm consistently. So you'll realize that there's sometimes you're going to run out of some war store credits, because you're also getting mini uniques too as well, right, in that store. But the point is, once they do make those characters available, because they will make them available, right? We're assuming that the team that they're going to be using to unlock Doctor Octopus, not Doctor Octopus, but Jubilee is going to be a team. They're going to make those characters available. Stature, Ghost, Yellow Jacket. If that's the direction that they choose to go in for that team to unlock, they're going to make them available someplace, right? So as soon as they make them available in those particular areas, you want to make sure that you are putting a plan in place. Start target farming those characters so that you can unlock the legendary on second pass, and probably even be able to get them to 6 stars on that second pass also too as well. So I'm hoping that this was helpful. I feel like I've gone too long on this video already, but I wanted to talk about the importance, number one, of legendaries, also the importance of how to go about trying to get those new future legendaries and not ignoring them, not shelving them, because they're absolutely important, to your roster, absolutely important, to the dynamic of this game. So make sure that you're going after getting those legendaries as soon as you possibly can. And as soon as they make them available and farmable, that you're target farming them, to make sure that you're going to be able to unlock, like I said, those that new legendary as they come out on that second pass again. All right. But I appreciate you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. You guys be blessed and you guys be safe.